People died because there is a mismatch of process of authentication where you could not discover my fingerprints and where you could not compare my fingerprints and where you could not say that the fingerprints are same. And I don't know, I will not get my ration and I will die of starvation. Ration to starvation through Aadhaar is the journey. And what is this? Have you heard of civil death? कभी सुने क्या civil death क्या होता है? Law has one great presumption. If a person is not heard of for 7 years, अगर आप बीवी को खत नहीं लिखते for 7 years, if you don't write your letters to your wife, she can marry another person, sir, because you are presumed to have been dead. Please understand, this is a presumption under Indian Evidence Act. If I am not heard of for 7 years, I will be presumed to have been no more. This is one civil death. Do you know there is second civil death? Second civil death is conversion into another religion. If I convert to another religion, I sever my relationship with my family, including my wife. My wife has every right to kick me out. So you converted to another, you get out. I'll marry another person. She has every freedom. These are the two civil deaths that law knows, and Aadhaar has created third category of civil death. And what is this third category of civil death? I will be denied my ration. I will be denied everything. I can't get my caste certificate. A caste certificate is very important in this country. And I don't marry because there is no Aadhaar card. My wife says, where is your Aadhaar card?
I can't get into hospital.
I can't get into hospital. I can't die, sir. I gave you a wonderful example. I can't enter into crematorium. So why is, now according to Aadhaar, according to figures quoted by Aadhaar, you have not enrolled 16 crore of people. You are not enrolled. And for 9 crore of people, you have denied the Aadhaar card. What will happen to these 25 crore people, sir, in this country? I appreciate your magnanimous, mega data collection, fantastic. Appreciate. Nowhere in the world it happened. But what do you do with these 25 crore of people? Are they Indians? Are they human beings? Are they civilians? Are they citizens of this country? Should they die or survive? They have right to life, but they can't survive. Is this right to life that you have guaranteed under Article 21 of Indian Constitution? So what exactly is the life for these Niradhars of 25 crore people? 25 crore Niradhar का जवाब क्या है? समाधान क्या देता है आप? There is no. Okay. Now another issue I'll tell you. Legal points I am talking about. Very, very, very important legal issues. If I have a complaint against somebody who stole my data, who misused my data, who breaked, leaked, or tracked, denied, whatever it is, whom I have to complain, sir? The law says I have no right to complain. You use my private data, you misuse my private data, and I don't have a right to complain. ये कहाँ का है? We are 1280, we talked about right to petition. Today we are talking about right not to complain. We have a duty not to complain. And do you know who has been authorized to complain on my behalf? UIDAI. My question is, if UIDAI is the culprit, and because of it I have a complaint, where should I go? Till I have to go to UIDAI. I have a complaint against you. Please complain on my behalf against you by yourself.
Article 21.
Huh?
They will quote Article 21.
Who?
UIDAI.
Article 21 is for human beings, not for the authorities. That's what they don't know. So this is the situation. I don't have a complaint. I don't have a right to come in, right to opt out, right to complain, right to compensation. There is no remedy prescribed for an ordinary citizen, and you deal with my information. And then look at the data sharing agreement. You agree with Airtel, you agree with Reliance, or you agree with that fellow. Even you can have an agreement with CIA, most probably. Huh? Then you will transport the entire megadata to him. And where do I go? My data without my consent. Can you deal with my property? Data is my property. And can you deal with? There was one very interesting case. It is called Tata Yellow Pages case. Once you know, Tata Yellow Pages used to publish the telephone subscribers numbers of BSNL in their own way, in a very artistic way, perhaps very organized way, different innovative way, and they really gained wonderful popularity. And they used to get advertisements, not the directory of BSNL. They used to get good number of advertisements. So they realized and they stopped the contract. When they stopped the contract, they challenged it. And now the question is, who is the owner of data? I subscribed, you subscribed, and your name and my name is listed under alphabet S. Sridhar Acharyulu, Shailesh Gandhi. And it is not my property. You design it, you put it, you put my numbers, you display my numbers, you collect advertisement, you make money, and the BSNL takes a share in it. You agree without my consent. And the Tata, not Tata, BSNL claims it is my property, like Tamil Nadu police who claimed the autobiography of criminal as its property. And Supreme Court came up with a wonderful statement that it is data, the people's property, you don't have intellectual property over it. So this myth of intellectual property over the data is finished. The myth of ownership over the data is also finished with that judgment, and you are recreating all that with your new Aadhaar card. And do you know what is the name of the Aadhaar card? It talks about transferring the benefits directly to the beneficiary. Is there any nexus with the statement of your title of your law, objective of your law, and the process that you have adopted and the remedies that you have not created? Is there any nexus? Nowhere. And we are discussing it without knowing that right to privacy is a private fundamental right. You have brought this law and you have extended the application of Aadhaar to hundreds of schemes in spite of 6 prohibitory orders by Supreme Court. 6 prohibitory orders. You went on collecting the data in spite of prohibitory orders of Supreme Court. Whether this data collection is legal? What is the legal capacity? What is the legal authenticity of this data? If somebody questions, where do you go? And I wish Supreme Court come to our rescue. I wish Supreme Court recognizes the people of India as people of India, not as numbers, not as customers, not as market pieces, not as listed consumers. You recognize as a human being, yeah? Yes. We are human beings. And you recognize my number. Number se kya hoga? They say, no, not even your plastic card is the proof of your citizenship. It is the number that proves your citizenship. And you have to remember that number. Not names. You are remembered by, the entire Indian population is renamed by numbers. Against wishes of my father, my mother, I will be a number from today. Not a member of this country. So is this the law that you are propagating? These are the real issues. I don't know the technology. But there are proofs of leakage. Tribune has published a wonderful report.
Yes, sir.
And you know, even according to the UIDAI, there are 36 lakh technological companies who worked with UIDAI, who are not working with UIDAI now. There are threats of leakages. They can leak the data of the information. Data. And they are doing it. Kapil Sibal has rightly argued yesterday. He brought out another important point. Now you have a data available with you, even the biometric data. You can use biometric data to compare the data I am claiming to be, and you can give me ration card to avoid duplication. But if I don't have electricity in my village, how do I compare? How do you compare my data with the biometric data already available with you? You cannot. Electricity is there, internet is not there. How do you do? Internet is also there, but there is no sufficient, bandwidth. How do you do? So without sufficient bandwidth, without sufficient capacity of server to work on, and without electricity 24/7, without the possibility of verification of my biometric data, what kind of a denial you are imposing on mine? What kind of, in the name of giving the benefits. In the name of giving benefits, you are authorizing the denial. That is the problem with the Aadhaar. So Aadhaar must be real Aadhaar to enable me to my entitlements. Not to deny like this without a remedy. So today 25 crores, tomorrow it will grow into. And look at the problem that Tribune has exposed. they have filed FIR against Tribune, not against those persons who hacked your data and who gave, they gave for 500 rupees, they gave entire data, and for another 300 rupees, they gave me the, what is that? ID name and then password also. That means whenever I want, I can access. Username and password, both, for 300 rupees. Such a cheap. If that is possible for a Tribune journalist, is it not possible for a professional hacker? Then what kind of your leak proof is a myth? Your technology unproven? There is no law, there is no scheme, there is no purpose, and what you are talking and what you are doing is totally contradictory. And you say, it's a great world's first fantastic megadata collection program. So this is like collecting huge water on the earth, like in the form of a dam, without any possibility of usage for the people or the elements of water, and it can cause earthquake. Similarly, you are collecting the megadata and storing it without any proof of leakage, without any assurance of remedy, without any law to support the common man. What kind of a policy it is? This is not an activist question, it's a realist question. It is a question of the survival of the people of this country. It is not just a question of information. On one hand, you don't give information. On the other hand, you take every of my information. So when I ask for some transfer report of your department, you say meteorological data. Yesterday I gave an order. Meteorological data, he says it is personal information. Whose personal information, I asked? वेदर वार्निंग है, वेदर वार्निंग क्या किसका पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन है? क्या आपका है क्या? आपका लव लेटर है क्या?
भगवान का है, भगवान.
हाँ. So it is a personal information. Then if I insist on, no sir, it will be intellectual property related. What is intellectual in it? And the question is, how many times your warning is proved accurate? He says it's a security information. Once what happened, in one of the second appeals, I was asking, why are you not giving that? Sir, can I tell you one thing? Yeah, please tell. Please ask the appellant to go. No, appellant will be here only. You have to tell whatever in his presence. Then I will tell you, sir, it's very embarrassing, I can't give that information. I said, embarrassing is no exception under Section 8. You have to suffer embarrassment, I can't help you. Then, sir, please, I will be losing my job. Then what to do? Then I said, come on, produce the entire record for me. He produced the entire record. The question was, how Supreme Court building is safe against fire accident. That's all. Very simple. How Supreme Court building is safe against fire accident. Then he was so embarrassed to tell me anything, and ultimately he produced the file as per my order. And when I read the file, do you know what was revealing? Chief Justice of India and Director General of Fire Services had a joint inspection and discovered 36 blocks. 36 blockages of exit routes which can be disastrous for Supreme Court of India. And it is embarrassing for him to reveal. And I felt it is embarrassing for the people to leave. People to perform their duty. Then I wrote an order. I am interested in the life of Chief Justice of India. And similarly, the public are having huge public interest, large public interest. I have to use all these expressions, large public interest for the survival of all the judges and all the advocates and all the people. Because Supreme Court judgment binds the entire country, everybody is interested in it. And then I have to say, please implement this order. Then some people came to me, legal wing of my, sir, what is this? आप पंगा ले रहे हैं जुडिशियरी से. क्या भाई पंगा कहाँ ले रहा हूँ भाई? I'm telling you, this is how you have to survive. And I'm very fortunate enough that my order was implemented by Registrar of Supreme Court by using that list. 36 blocks were removed. And similarly, Parliament is also dangerous, in a dangerous position, but nobody came forward. And I don't know what will happen to Parliament. Don't ask me anything. So, the information which you are supposed to give is not that great secret that you can. I'll just share one anecdote and conclude. There was one autobiographical narration of Liaquat Ali Khan, a former Prime Minister of Pakistan, in which he wrote that he purchased one fantastic defense secret information for rupees 20,000 from an Indian major. He wrote. Then Then there was a discussion in our country, great country. Do you know what was the discussion? Money life related question, sir. Well, 20,000 आपको दे दिया, समझता हूँ आप बेच दिए cigarettes, but do you sell it for 20,000 rupees? Nonsense. Then some economist came on the scene and he said, no, don't be in a hurry. I'll calculate and tell you what is the value of 20,000 in 1960s compared to this. And they gave a present. Wonderful. Oh, okay. We have sold for a substantial price. And then he also wrote another very important stanza in his autobiographical narration that based on the information he purchased for 20,000 rupees, he was trying to invade through porous borders of Rajasthan into India. But they could not cross one culvert. There was a heavy rainfall and culvert collapsed. And he could not enter. And then we said we have to thank God for the great rain and thank the engineers who built the culvert. They saved India. So we are saved not by the military secrecy. We are saved by accidental blessing of the God and accidental inefficiency that saves us of the engineers. And day before also, yesterday also I read a news item that one major was clicking the photographs of Air Force functional tests, something. He could not, the majors and the military personnel can explain it for a better way. He was selling it and he was being proud. Don't give that information to anybody who's asking under RTI. Please don't give. Plus give the information which I am asking. Because every information that we are asking, 99% is Section 4 information. You have to disclose on your own. And most of the information that is denied is information that could be given. So right to information of the people is more important than the right to information of the state from the people. Aadhaar Act is total reverse of Right to Information Act. Aadhaar Act gives information to the rulers as SP Sathe has talked about in his Right to Know book. He talks about, I'm the ruler, I'm the citizen, I'm a vibrant citizen. I would be informed. If I am informed, I will be empowered. I want the information. Please ensure information flow to me. And don't ensure my information so authentically, so dictatorially, so strongly through Aadhaar card. And don't link it to my livelihood. If I don't have Aadhaar card, if I cannot survive, it is not Aadhaar. It is virtually, really Niradhar. So don't make Aadhaar Niradhar and let the people survive without the Aadhaar also. Thank you very much.